Well, welcome everybody back to Endurance Karting. We're glad that you guys have joined us on this Sunday evening as the cars have already started on track. My name is James, and I'm going to have Adam here sitting down beside me in just a few seconds as I'll bring down some of that audio in the background and Adam catches his breath. We'll welcome you to round number 2 of Endurance Championship Series. My name is James, like I said, and this is going to be the summer series of the Endurance Karting Championship Series. Hi, Adam. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. All right, so we've already got cars on track, and what are you pointing to?
Scoreboard needs updated.
Oh. Well, we can do that. Somehow the cars have stopped already, so while they do that, let's refresh the scoreboard and say hello to our new camera operator, Michael, who's replacing cameraman Drew tonight, and the regular K1 staff joining us as well. So Endurance Karting is an indoor electric go-kart. The reason we stream this thing is because it's just a little unusual. We welcome anybody who's maybe been exposed to gas karting or any kind of other endurance racing. This is kind of a little unique, so we're glad you found the channel. And if you got a friend or family member that is or somebody who's driving, we hope to talk to you in the chat as well. So
looks like they were having a problem. None of the laps were registering whenever they started the race.
Oh, I see.
Because it looks like they're 3 minutes in.
So we're off to a great start so far. So they'll get Jonathan Douglas across the line. They'll stop him, and then maybe
restart
the race, and then reassign the kart number. So, well, while we do that, I'll just finish up with what we're talking about. So, yeah, it's 30-minute indoor electric go-kart race. We'll have close to 24 drivers tonight. Looks like maybe 22, 23. I'm not really sure. And they're going to have an A main and a B main. They'll be split up into 2, but for qualification purposes, we want to give them space on the track, so we're going to have 3 qualifiers, and they're going to be timed. And we changed that the last round, which I kept saying it was going to be based upon the lap times. It's still based on lap times, but the overall time of the session is only going to be 7 minutes. So what that means is that if you want to swap your car during the qualification, you're welcome to do that. Just keep in mind that you're going to sacrifice a little bit of time to do that. And you run the risk of, maybe not setting the fastest lap, but you are welcome to do that if you don't like something that you're driving. So that's something that's new for this series. And also the other thing we started doing towards the end of the championship last season was the timed pit stops. And we hope to have a new graphic on the screen tonight for you guys, so that you can see the 55-second times that they have in order to do the pit stop. So
I'm going to let Jacob know to turn on the GoPros.
Yeah, that would help.
I saw them on the carts, but I don't know if they were turned on.
Takes a little bit of time to get the kart numbers reassigned, so that's what they're working on right now. We have a couple new drivers tonight, as always.
We have a lot.
Welcome them. Yeah, so I think
it's like half the field.
No.
Yeah, when I was putting them in for the orders, like this entire heat, these guys are all new.
This entire heat's not all new. Jonathan Douglas is returning
but to
tonight.
This season.
Okay, technically.
That's what I was, okay.
Yeah, we've only run 1 race this season, which you thought we would run 3, so.
But we have like a lot, like Katie, Dom, and Kyle, they all weren't here. Decent drivers. Quick. Dom's really quick. And then we got Jonathan, Austin.
But as far as like rookies to the Endurance Championship, there's a few of them in this particular race. So Caden Jackson Parks Baker, who usually joins us in the chat. So we're looking forward to having him actually on track tonight. And then
he's already in the chat.
Justin Walker, is he? Are you?
Yep.
He's probably in this next qualifier, so he probably needs to.
That's him. He's saying, "Hi, James. I'm racing."
No, that was earlier.
Yeah, I know, but he was already.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like they're gonna start up now.
All right. So we'll see if this session runs a little bit smoother. Jonathan Douglas, welcoming him back in the car number 23. He was sitting there in the back. He's going to be the tail end of the field on this qualification round. So normally, drive and drive races is 12 laps, and it usually takes about 6 minutes if you're running at pace. So we're going to give him, we gave him 8 last round. We're going to tighten it up just a little bit, down to 7. I think eventually we'll get down to 6 because that should give you plenty of time to not only set fast laps, but also to possibly, if you want to, change your kart. But as we talked about, that is a big risk. Anthony Narofsky was the only guy who took us up on that offer last round, so he did do a kart swap during the qualification round. and
didn't help.
It didn't help him.
He couldn't get faster than what his other time already was.
Yeah. I think at the time he bumped up like a spot, but it didn't put him like in the top 3. So if you guys have questions for us on how the series runs, or you have a driver you're rooting for, feel free to add that to the chat. We should have that feature back up and running, as we've already seen down there. We welcome your comments and interact with us because, hey, we kind of consider this you're hanging out with us on Sunday night. If you're watching this post live, then we welcome you as well. Maybe put down in the comments, what has been your experience with karting, and have you ever done this before? Either indoors, or if you ever done any kind of electric endurance racing, because we're always curious as far as who's out there in the field. You're following along with the number 19, Ethan Mast. He's joined us in previous rounds before. Been really working on his lap times here the last couple weeks. So far, second on the timing store stands, 26.3 so far.
They stop again.
Fast pan, so. The number 25 of Jackson Walker might have stalled out the car. So we've talked about that before. If that was the case, that might have been the case of braking gas at the same time, or maybe they just collided or something. So speaking of which, he's going to try to make some space. So if you're living in Ohio and you know that it's kind of getting warm out there, you may be wondering why we didn't open the outdoor track. And it's a good question, but primarily it's because we needed to make a call early in the week. As he runs wide in the number 25. We needed to make the call early in the week so that the drivers knew if the outdoor track was going to be open. We have only had the outdoor track open 2 times so far this year, and so it's been tough for any kind of driver practice. So we just made the call that it looked like it was only going to get up to about a high of 60 degrees today, and with that kind of temperature, it wasn't
gets
quite
cold at
warm
night.
up. Yeah, especially this race is now running at quarter to 7 o'clock in the Eastern time zone. So Jackson Parks Baker, 26-0. Nobody bumping into 25s just yet, but we do have 3 minutes left on the clock. Jackson Parks Baker, part of the Junior Championship Series. It's good to have these guys joining us, or migrating from the K1 Championship and the teen leagues over to this, because they are the same cars. They just get a lot more track time. Are you replaying?
No, I was just setting it up.
Okay.
Just so we have it.
And Caden Dennis now just still sitting on top of the 26, but it's a 0-0-1.
I think these guys remember that the boost button works. I know some of them can throw down some pretty quick, at least 25s.
I would think Ethan, he's
been
able to hit 25s before.
Jonathan,
in practice. And same with Jackson, but
Jackson, yeah,
maybe it's hard to remember sometimes. Boost button gives you about 15% additional power. Let's see if we can find. Well, you are following Caden Dennis. I was going to say if we could find. Nope, Jonathan Douglas. There you go. He's going to
just barely beat it. 804, 805.
Oh yeah, they almost hit at the same time. Let's follow Jonathan Douglas as he goes around, as he's going to kind of
pull off again,
wander around. So I was talking about some of these guys who are younger drivers, but they are tall enough to drive the adult karts. They run in the teen league, which is a once a month on Tuesday nights. But they're welcome to run this series too, because this one's open to all ages as long as you're tall enough.
Yeah. If you want to sit down in a car for a while, this is what it is.
Just sitting down, just chilling.
Or race. I mean, I know some guys that come in through our arrive and drives, and they'll run one race, and they're pretty surprised when they look at that trophy, or people do 50 races in one day. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anybody look at that and not be shocked by it. Well, yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, and if you looked at the other side, the guy did 74. So
right. Which
it's not even 50 anymore.
David Pons.
Yes.
And we anticipate him joining us tonight as one of our last-minute additions to the lineup. Jonathan Douglas looking down the back of Caden in the number 3. This is qualification, so nothing doesn't hurt to pull off to the side, but I know Jonathan had already scrubbed a lap here a couple laps ago. Now he's going to get a little bit more room. Ooh, he hammers on the brakes in turn 1. We should have our onboard cameras here before too long, and then we'll take you guys along for the ride. He's got one on his camera, but they didn't turn it on. There's just a lot of things that happen when we get this race started. There's just a lot of stuff, so.
Couple guys still sitting at 27.
Yeah, Justin Walker and Timothy. I know Timothy joined us here recently for GP. He was here last week.
Justin's son, I think, races in the junior league, Jackson Walker.
Gotcha. Yep. Jackson with an X, I was reminded
Yes.
today. All right, 18 seconds left. That'll be the Cy's last lap because
Jonathan's.
What did I say, Cy? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Jonathan. I thought I was out of that habit. Flying laps do not count on the board. When the time expires, you're done.
Yep.
So that'll be it.
So it looks like Jonathan with the 25.804 will be the top time. We do have a new feature.
Yeah, so you got it ready?
Yeah, it should just pop up, right?
There we go. 25.804. We'll keep that up on the screen, and as that time potentially dwindles, Adam's going to update it for you guys, but now we know where the target is. Time to poll. I'd love to get that automated so that it does it automatically, but
That'd be pretty cool.
one step at a time. Yeah, it was going to really complicated because it was going to be spread across 3 different heats. Jonathan excited. Yes.
And like a lot of these guys, do they know that they're able to skip 1 week or one?
They should.
Because like a lot of these guys haven't raced yet this year. Probably about 10 of them that haven't raced this year. So hopefully they know that just because they missed the first one that they're still in the hunt because everybody's pretty much equal after today.
We probably neglected to tell them that in the driver's meeting. Yeah.
So I know Dom missed the first one and Dom's back, and he's definitely like a top racer.
He definitely knows that he can.
Yeah.
But that might be a good time to bring that up here. So let's look at the Enduro standings so far. Jensen Janda, 4-point lead coming out of the first round. Jensen had an amazing race. Go back on the stream and watch that. If you just want to save a few minutes, you can even just go back and watch the A main just the last few minutes. He worked his way back from 4th, got the fastest lap of the race, so he got the 2 bonus points for that, then won the race, and also got the biggest mover award. So 3 bonus points for him. He normally would have gotten 25, but he is comfortably in the lead so far, but we know we have a lot more rounds to go. Like we said, there are 6 rounds that count and 7 rounds that are available. We will have a double weekend in August.
There's top 3 right there is the DHB.
That's right, yeah.
And tonight we're missing Joey, Alex, and Tristan.
Yep.
Those 3 aren't here.
Which I don't think Tristan is going to be
here
the rest of the year, right? So we hope to have Joey back, and Alex Eccleberry said he already had a prior commitment, so he's still planning on being here.
I didn't see his highlighter. Highlighter yellow shirt.
Or his papaya shirt, yeah.
All right, looks like the second group is about to start.
Grant Osser, the only rookie in the top 10 so far. Which Grant will actually be in the 3rd qualification round as you're looking now on the 18 of Nathan Blackerby. Hoping that he can jump into the A main this week.
Let's see what Nathan could do. I know he was here last night practicing. He was practicing with Arrive and Drive, practice his passing and stuff.
Oh, okay. I was like, why? Yeah, why
we have like full races Saturday nights, and he
wanted to practice maneuverability. That's a good way to do it. Who else is in this? Mark Davis.
PJ, Mark. Xander, I know you were trying to give him a couple lessons.
Yeah.
Give him a little bit faster.
One of the things I noticed with Xander, and hopefully he doesn't mind me saying that, but I was actually looking at him and watching him drive the car and noticed that he was actually staying off the throttle for too long.
Yeah. Because he did look pretty smooth. Like going around, I was like, how is he only throwing down these times?
Yeah, his race line looked pretty good. But I said that's actually an easier method to correct as you look at the helmet of the number 24, PJ, as he crosses the line there. It's actually easier to add more throttle than it is to learn to let off earlier.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the good direction you want to go. Dom D'Angelo is in this qualification, and he's already in the 25.801, which is going to change the target number for these guys, which I'm sure this will probably be changing quite a bit. It was an 804 to an 802. Is that what it was?
801.
801?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can read.
It'll probably just keep changing.
I'm also really curious to see what Mark Davis is going to do, because with his practice sessions, he's been coming down in the times.
Yes.
And he did a really good job with the B main last time around. That's Dom D'Angelo in the red helmet and the number 16. Did you follow him?
Katie's back. Katie wasn't here last week.
Said she was so bummed to not partake in the endurance race last month. She said she's only missed 2 of them. That's quite a feat. So I guess PJ has not missed one.
That's what she was saying, yeah.
So
pretty crazy.
Yeah, the original endurance champion, PJ Manipenny, has not missed an endurance race in 6 seasons. Dom D'Angelo's got a little bit of traffic in front of him. He's got Kyle Donahue in front, but he's going to back off to try to get a running start if he can find a gap. Good to have Dom back. Like we said, he missed last month. He was part of the 12 Hours teams.
A lot of these guys were
looking to put a championship belt under his.
What did he finish last season? Was it 3rd?
I thought it was 2nd.
2nd?
I thought. Look, I have it over here. So
2nd.
Yeah, 2nd. Marshall Miller won that championship. Dom D'Angelo 2nd. Joey Valentine.
But we did not have
3rd,
Jensen here, and Anthony only ran.
It's a 486 now. Dom's just going to make us keep changing the time all the time. Yeah, that's right. We didn't have Anthony here.
Gavin's gotten a lot of practice under his belt, too.
Xander in the blue shirt and the black helmet tonight, as he ticks off a 26-1.
Mark Davis, 25.850.
That's becoming more of a norm for Mark, isn't it? Used to be having a hard time getting into the 25s. He's dropped a couple tenths. I think Anthony has been coaching him, too.
Yeah.
That's Mark Davis right there in the black helmet. I'm sure we got some people in the chat following Mark. Yep. As we say that, we have a chat from
Shay
Okay.
Horschler.
Yeah.
Alex was in the chat as well, saying, let's go, Ethan.
Oh, Alex, is you rooting for Ethan? Okay. Well, yeah, that's right. They're usually here when they practice together, so. We'll follow Mark as he comes around to the front line.
Oh, 25.479 by Dom.
We saw practice right before we started that a couple drivers were in the 25.2s and 25.3s.
Oh, 25.326 from Dom.
Keep you on your toes.
Looks like I think I saw David down there, so it looks like he made it here on time. Yeah, there he is with his gold helmet.
You probably should wait for Dom to cross the finish line before he gets...
Didn't happen this time.
Yeah. So the 7 minutes worked pretty well, I think.
How many laps? 12.
Which one did they end up running? That was
the 6:45.
Endurance race time.
13:40.
13:14. Okay, so they've got a few extra laps than a normal race.
All right, Mark's gonna pull off to try to get some clean track. Mark's down to a 25.659. See if any of these 3 at the bottom can get into the 25s.
Nope, 27 on that last one because he pulled over, so. 3.26, not too bad. I think that's right where Dom was during practice, wasn't he?
Not sure. I think that's where a lot of them were. I know a lot of them, they come in and figure out the boost button's working, and the just spreads like wildfire. And everybody just uses it.
Yep. Dom was a 25.44 in a warm-up. Looks like everybody here on camera shot is going to get another lap because there's 50 seconds
25.311. Did somebody hit 24 last time, right? Didn't we have that last race?
Yeah, that was during the race. Yes. Yeah.
Nobody swapped their card either.
No.
But it did come down. It was Anthony, so we'll see if Anthony does it again this race.
Yeah.
Someone just jumped up. Kyle jumped up.
That was. Yeah. With 20 seconds, I don't know if these guys are going to make it to the timing line.
They might.
Maybe. 10 seconds to round the carousel. I guess
I think they got it.
Yeah.
I think the first 3. We'll see if Mark can get there.
We'll see if Kyle can get into the 25s.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh, Dom actually got there too. All right. Dom with 25.311 is the top time so far.
Anybody else crossing the line is not going to count at this point, so open pit lane. Like we said, everybody's going around for the lap. Yeah,
skipped it.
Electronically controlled deceleration zone back there. Pit lane speed limiter. Something for these new drivers to get used to is making pit stops during the race. There's one mandatory pit stop during the race. Not because it has to be that way. They could run these cars all the way through.
Nathan did get into a 25s on his last lap.
Oh, yeah. I missed
25.949.
949.
There you go.
I would think Mark would, right there in the front, is going to be happy with a 25.65. Good time for him.
Yeah, this should put him in the A main.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we still got one more heat.
But it was faster than the first group.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And he's more than halfway here.
That's true.
Oh, Anthony's ready to race. He's all the way in turn 3 already.
Yeah. They should start the clock.
Well, they were trying to wait till the first guy got close to the start-finish line, so everybody started at the same time.
Oh, but the reason we did 7 minutes was because they started the clock right out of the pits last time, so we'll probably have to work on that.
Yeah,
that procedure. So, I mean, we can make it 6 minutes.
That's what me and Armand were talking about, was trying to start it so everybody had the same exact time.
Yeah, last time they just started the clock and sent them.
Yeah,
so.
which would be easier to dictate of everybody being on the same time.
6 minutes. Oh, we're going to have an onboard this time, so.
Who do we got? That looks like Gavin.
Gavin, yep. We were. Nope. Nope, it turned off. All right, so Jensen is going to be your overhead guy in the number 35. Jensen, your winner in round number 1, the Dominator. He didn't have the perfect qualification, but he had perfect race execution and strategy.
This is going to be a good qualifier. These guys are all very quick. And David's here.
Yep, David made it.
Nope. Camera's back on somehow.
Yay. So we finally have on board.
With Gavin.
Gavin, the number 16. All right, this is your last group to do qualification. We'll be watching for anybody who pulls into the pits. I should pull up the pit timer just in case if somebody tricks it or trips it.
Gavin already with a 20. Anthony, okay, 25.83. Wow.
Yeah, everybody's just jumping around. This heat is going to be close.
Yeah.
A lot of fast drivers.
I know even without boost, Grant at the bottom right now, he was running a 25.3 and just practiced the other day. So it'll be interesting. I don't know if he's ever really used boost. Oh, he did race last month.
Yeah, he did. If I was Grant, I'd be sweating. I don't know if I would want to be in this qualifier.
Yeah, these
are all top dogs here. Gavin's not going to waste any time either. The guy you're riding along with right now apparently hit a new track record last Friday night at a 25.0.
Yeah, so he has both.
So he now has indoor and outdoor.
Grant, right there he goes, 25.6.
Wow. So far, besting Anthony. See how long that lasts. Anthony went across. We'll follow overhead with Anthony here. We'll find him on the track.
It's got that white helmet.
Yep, we were following him a second ago, and there he is. All right, so we'll switch to Anthony Narofsky.
Tyler Stevenson, 25.390. Let me check.
Now, that's what he did during warm-ups.
Yes.
And he was actually running the car that doesn't have a boost, so that...
he said that. He said, I was trying to hit it, and it wasn't working. I said, yeah.
Well, it's the one that has the bug in it, so it actually slows you down. So it's, it's like a brake. We don't run that one for endurance.
There we go. That's the top time so far, 25.258 by Tyler.
Oh, Kart 22 is coming into the pits, so let's see.
Who's that? Kart 22 is Dave.
Dave,
all right.
So he'll swap cars. Okay. He doesn't have to abide by the 30-second rule. As long as the track workers get the car number swapped over, he'll be able to release. But we just tripped the timer so that we knew that somebody came in. So
far, everybody in this race has hit 25s. We'll see if Dave's going to be able to warm those tires up for the last 3 minutes that he's out there.
Yeah. Yeah, keep an eye on that. It's 25.9 he's got.
Grant, 25.280. It's a fast lap.
That's incredible for Grant.
I know.
That's great.
He practices all the time.
Well,
he really does practice all the time.
I know, but last time he practiced, I looked up at the board, he was running 25.8s.
Yeah.
And you don't generally get a full half second out of boost. I mean, theoretically you should or could, but a lot of people don't. But
no, I know he's really been working on trying to be fast. He's always kind of scared,
Yeah.
Going into these, and all these guys, they do this all the time.
But he is holding his own for sure.
Yeah. Jensen's in at 25.460. We'll see if he's able to move up at all.
If I remember, that's right where they qualified last round too. But Tyler's been on a tear, so Tyler did have pole position for GP last week. Tyler's going to be in the other blue helmet. I think he just passed the bottom of your screen there. Yep, there's Tyler, the man in blue.
Tyler just 25.151.
151.
Wow. And Grant, 25.162.
He responds. 2 minutes left to go. We've made this qualification probably even more important than the endurance race now.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see when we go outside. Did we ever run endurance with boost outside?
Yeah.
We have?
We did.
Okay. It's like
we're coming up on almost a full year of boost.
Okay.
I want to say it was late fall, early fall. Let's see. Tyler goes across the line. Ooh. Doesn't improve.
Still a great time. Yeah. 2 people at 25.1, 2 people at 25.2, 2 people at 25.3, and 2 people at 25.6.
Your top 6 are all below 25.4s.
That's crazy.
As you follow number 14, Tyler Stevenson. He's the man to beat so far.
We got a minute left. You probably get about 2 laps in. See if anybody moves.
And look at how close Sean and Dave are there between 7th and 8th.
I know.
Basically, a half a hundred. So what is that? A thousandths, a couple thousandths. So
here comes Tyler. 25.104 for Tyler.
Riding on board with young Gavin Patterson as everybody's going to have one more lap here. You'll notice the DHB sticker on top of his helmet. That was his team for the 12 hours.
These kids just keep getting faster and faster.
Yes. And that'll complete that. So we'll watch overhead for anybody else coming across the line. Tyler throws up his fist in excitement so far. And
unless David... Oh, he just moved up one. 25.309.
He still made it across the line. That was impressive.
Yeah.
David
probably spamming boost as much as he had left.
Yeah. We didn't follow David on this one, but he's almost always good for the last lap burner. And there you go. Tyler Stevenson will be your pole sitter for round number 2.
It's going to be a good race.
He is excited. Back there in the blue gloves, like I said, he did get pole position for GP last week. And unfortunately, a bad start cost him that race. So he was not able to capture the win. And I think he's hungrier than ever to pull off a number 1 spot. As Grant congratulates him. Yeah, both those guys having terrific times.
So we got a 30-minute endurance race. Everybody does have to pit stop once. There's a timer for the pits.
Yeah, I mentioned that the drivers have to do the pit stop just because of the regulations. They don't have to do the pit stops because of batteries. So if you've seen the 12 hours before, you realize that those guys ran 100 or more laps on these batteries. So we do the pit stop thing to mix up strategy, give people an opportunity to run, like get out from underneath things. So one of the things we talked about for this race coming up is actually implementing the Joker. What do you think?
For the next one?
I don't know.
Or are you talking about what we were thinking about for this race?
Not for this race, but at some point during the series, we would implement the Joker lap.
Yeah. Could be the very last race.
Yeah, it could be. Because it's a little bit more unusual, but by that time, most of the drivers are going to be seasoned with experience and everything, so... looks like you'll play on board with Jonathan Douglas, which will be awesome.
And Zach was asking if there's a sign-up date. I mean, I heard you say that more information will be out during the summer. So
yeah, we don't have a sign-up date yet, so stand by. Get the cursor off there. And
Jonathan is just scrubbing his tires.
And looks like we also got an on board with Anthony, who's in the number 1. No.
Anthony's not in this race.
That's
we got Katie Wise in the number 1 kart. Maybe it's good luck for her, having Anthony's name there.
This is the joys of having you guys on the live stream. You get to see all the behind-the-scenes stuff that would normally get edited out. We don't have a production crew, so it's just us.
We also don't have headsets today, so the track ops cannot hear what we are saying at all.
Yeah.
We're kind of off in our own up here.
If you didn't catch it, during the 12 hours, we started to have some audio problems because one of the devices that we use to communicate with our track, shorted out. So it's in for repair, and we still don't have it back.
Yep.
So we're kind of relying upon some old standards. All right, let me see
if I can get... This could be a good race. There's a lot of racers close to the same times in this race.
This is camera 3.
We'll also see what Jackson Parks Baker can do. He's starting in 6th place. See if he can move up at all.
All right, so we'll get that out of the way. We'll look overhead. We'll get us out of the way as well.
I know Jonathan said when he came in the other day, he was excited to be back.
Yeah, we're definitely excited to have him. See if I can change Anthony's name. Maybe it's 1. Yeah, but that's not the right one. So it's got overlay for Katie Wise. What card number is she in? 1. Cool.
All right. We'll wait for them to go green. All right. Owen just gave the command to keep their feet off. And there they go. Katie with a quick jump. I don't know if Caden was a little slower on his jump, but Katie got off pretty quick.
Katie with the black helmet. Caden sliding sideways. We got Katie and Caden. Yeah, that'll help. 30 minutes, your B main underway. We'll switch on board with Katie. Oh, she ramps number 19 behind.
It did look like she slammed the brakes a little bit there. It looked like she came to a complete stop.
Caden running way outside the line.
Oh, that's Caden. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was Katie up there.
Katie on board, and then Caden in front, really running. Well, he's running a Katie Wise line. Sorry, Katie. All right, she's going to go side by side into turn 4, and we're going to have to go overhead for this shot because Caden is just having a terrible time getting the car underneath him.
Yeah, he's a rookie, right? He hasn't ran one of these before, and then you got Katie, she knows what she's doing out there.
And then he's got to make sure
got to give her that position.
Got to give her room. As Caden is just getting bounced around.
Yeah. So everybody moves up 1. Caden drops all the way down to, I think, 6th.
Nathan Blackerby right there to take advantage of it in the black helmet, replacing one black helmet with another one.
A lot of the times in these races, if you just kind of sit back, there will be a time where you're able to just move past everybody.
And you check on the board with Jonathan Douglas in front. Obviously, he doesn't have anybody in front of him, but he doesn't have too much heat from behind just yet in the car number 8 machine.
He's looking pretty good.
We've got a lot of bumping in the back, so let's follow some of the guys in the back of the field here and see what's sorting out, because I'm sure there's a lot of chaos back there.
Right there, we got cart 19. I'm not sure who that is. I think that's Caden again.
Yeah, it is. So he's really jockeying the wheel way too much. I mean, because the car's just not going to respond to that. So if he gets to settle down and maybe gets locked in a little bit, it'll help a lot.
Yeah.
But
has he ran GP, the team yet?
I don't think so.
Or is this his first actual position race? Because a lot of these guys who haven't been here run these are their first position race.
Right.
And it is stressful.
So absolutely. Being on the starting grid, your heart's pounding, and then you got to warm up tires within a couple laps, and you've got the rest of the field breathing down your neck. So we understand the position he's in. So, all right, so now that he's kind of settling in back there in the number 8 spot, he's lost a couple spots, but we got Katie and Nathan, your top 3, after Jonathan Douglas leads the field.
It looks like, there's a little battle going on with Jackson and Ethan and Xander all right there.
Jackson Parks Baker with the number 25, the white helmet there, running a wide line in the carousel. And Ethan Mass.
And Xander. I know they're buddies, right?
Yeah, they're 2 friends, but we'll see what happens when they run the racing line. Xander in front in the blue shirt. Ethan in back with the white.
And sitting right behind them is Kyle. He might just be waiting for his moment to pass both of them if they both kind of bump into each other.
Yep, we see time and time again that the third man in the row can take advantage of 2 cars in front battling it out. Jackson hitting purple again. Nobody hitting the 25 just yet.
Long race.
Yep. Not even 4 minutes complete, but you can see that the field is now trying to space each other out and settle in a little bit.
Sounds like somebody just went wide.
Yeah, I really do think a lot of that was just the jitters of getting started. And especially if you try to use boost. The boost is tempting to use out of the gate, but I tell you, it can. Oh, we have our first pit stop. Car number 8. That'll be Jonathan Douglas.
And you do only have 5 boosts, right? Was it 15? 15. Yeah, 15 boosts.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, if you hit that boost to start, then you could really send yourself through a spiral because you're going to be caught off guard.
Here comes Jonathan into the pits. We'll see if he does everything the correct way. I know this is his first time with the new pit format that we have.
He's got plenty of time.
He does.
Lots and lots
Sounds
of time.
Sounds like a lot of people just crashed. The bear is back here and up here. It's just everything's so much louder. All right, so he's got 15 seconds before he's able to go.
Now Xander locked in a little bit. I saw he was purple on that last lap. We can go back on track as we follow.
Looks like
we will follow the leaders as they come around.
Here they are. We got Jackson, Nathan, and Xander.
Yeah, those are the guys that we hear a lot of bumping from. So
yeah, just keep an eye on this pack. See if Jackson could get any way to pass Nathan.
Nathan is actually waving him by there. He's like, "Hey, if you're gonna,"
it looks like Nathan's getting upset with him.
Well, I think that he said, if you're going to hit me, then just drive by me. That's what it looked like to me, but...
Oh!
Ethan's going to go down the inside of that
and
one, but...
Xander's going to lose a lot of positions there trying to cut Jackson off.
Yeah, he definitely did not have a clean line going in there.
No.
But that'll...
Sometimes you just got to wait, because then that screws up some of the race for him. Now he's got to make all that way back.
Sticking your nose in there back in turn 5 can be a dangerous proposition for sure. But that'll give Nathan Blackerby a little bit of breathing room now. So that'll make him happy that he doesn't have Jackson down his neck. Jonathan Douglas will be scored down there in the number 11 spot. He was your first pit stopper. Only one so far, but he was very early in the cycle. Drivers can stop at any time. There's no requirement. They can stop right away. And we'll see if we can get a replay.
Should have a replay on that.
Go ahead.
So here they are through 4, and then going into 5. Xander tries to cut him off, but you can see right there he hits the back of his bumper and then just kind of gets stuck on the barrier.
Yeah.
Lucky for Jackson, he didn't lose any positions.
Just not far enough along, so... All right, looks like we're going to get another pit. That'll be for Jackson coming into the pits, it looks like. Cart number 25. Yep, that's Jackson. So
Jackson with 25.7, though.
Yeah. Yeah, he was consistently fast right out of the gate, so we'll follow on board with Katie, who's now the leader of the race after Jonathan abandoned.
Just see what the strategy is with Jonathan pitting a little early there.
Yeah.
There's Jonathan. He's right behind Timothy.
This will be good track time for Timothy because I know he was one of the very first races that he ran was just this last Sunday. And he got thrown into the deep end with GP, so.
Yeah.
We still like that, though. You know, we don't really want
if you want good competitive racing, come to GP. You could do this.
You get 2 qualifiers and a final position. Jackson back out on track and also setting fastest lap again in his new kart. So they'll follow overhead. We had the merging here of Jackson, who was
looks like he's right behind. Is that Austin?
I believe so. He's the number
Kyle. That might be 26. Kyle Donahue.
I'm trying to sort out 26 and 28 because I'm trying to remember what their helmets look like.
See if Jackson. Nope, Jackson's going to sit off and wait.
Yeah, so now Xander's going to be back behind him after Jackson's completed his pit stop, and a lot
of bumping.
Yeah,
usually the B main goes pretty smooth.
It does.
We've had
it's a lot of different paces out there on the track.
Yes. Looks like Caden has came into the pits.
Looks like most people are dumping off early. Hopefully they're keeping an eye on the clock. They realize that they've got a lot of racing to go. Check down here in the pits.
Looks like somebody else has just entered the pits.
Yeah, that'll be the number 19. Or no, actually 26. So 19's been...
So Kyle has came into the pits too. All right.
So the routine is you get to get into the cart adjacent to you, and then you pull up to the line. And the reason you pull up to the line is that way everybody has the same distance to travel from front to back of the pits.
Looks like Jackson had a little bit of a delay to go when his hit 0.
There is a timer up on the screen that's up on the wall that these drivers are following. So they have the exact same time that you guys have here on screen. Nope, they got to make sure he stops. Nope, he's got to be behind that line first. We'll follow overhead here for just a second.
I think they're going to give him a 5-second. Well, it's all right.
Well, he backed up behind the line.
That's all right.
Yeah, he did penalize himself.
And he's going out. That was a pretty good merge. Yeah. Pretty good. He stayed out of the way.
Jackson's still running really wide. I noticed that on a couple corners that he was in. But now Kyle's got the cold tires and Xander's right behind with the warm cart because he is not pitted yet. Everybody from 8th position on down has completed a pit stop, leaving Katie Wise to lead the field in number 1.
Followed by Nathan.
Yep, 2.5 seconds the gap.
There's the blue flag they are giving to somebody. Not sure who that is in the red helmet. I think that's Justin. As Caden's going to put his nose in and get past Xander.
Caden running really wide line. We talk about the carousel a lot. One of the things the drivers don't necessarily understand out of the gate is to keep that carousel nice and tight.
Yeah.
Xander
Hug
did.
Hug it as close as you can, kind of.
Xander did from behind, and that's why he's right on the tail of him.
Dang.
Right here, when you come into the carousel,
yeah, hug it, just like how Xander did right there. See how
he's going to take advantage of the boost button for sure.
Yep.
And get across.
And that's a really good place to pass too. If you're following someone that doesn't hug it, it's smart move. Really easy pass.
Yep, perfect execution. I think he saw that last lap by because he prepared to get right out of that.
You want to throw it up on replay here?
Okay. You can see he got about almost a full car length behind, and as he came out of the carousel, oh, that's the wrong lap.
Oh, my bad. Should be coming up. Should be this one. If you wanted to go.
All right, we'll try this again. Ready? All right. So they were nose to tail. Xander sees that he's runs wide.
And then he must have hit the boost right there and just gave him the deuces. That's what I would have done. And then he's going to be good.
You're following the 3rd position of the 21 car, Ethan Mast. And up ahead, Nathan, the number 2.
Ethan's helmet looks just like Tristan Hartong's. And when I saw him out there, I thought it was Tristan Hartong.
Yeah. So he said he got this, I think, for his birthday this past week, which it looks great.
Yes.
And he had told me what it was, and I said, oh, yeah, Tristan has a helmet just like that. Yeah.
That's Ethan, right? He didn't have it when he was here the other day.
Nope, he just got that.
Here we go.
And happy belated birthday to Ethan.
There's Jackson Parks Baker with a 25.599.
Yeah, he set a lot of purple laps on this this session so far.
A lot of them just get used to like the boost in the carts, and because if they would do this in the qualifier, they might end up in the A main.
Yeah.
Looks like Jackson was able to boost and get past Ethan there. I know the top.
Yeah, at this point, Ethan has not pitted yet.
The top 7 haven't pitted.
It's everybody from
Jonathan.
Yep.
Down has pitted.
Correct. Yeah, we haven't seen Justin in the number 33 yet, so. Or Timothy, I don't think.
I know Giovanni was telling me he's on the mic with his dad. So he's probably coaching his dad around the track.
I think that'd be hilarious if he yelled at him the same way. See, Dad, this is what it's like. No, he's totally cool, and Giovanni's a very very mature adult for his age.
Yeah.
So I'm sure
maybe he's helped. I remember Ryan; she was running 27.1s. Now he's been coaching her a little bit.
We're gonna get a pit stop from Austin Leslie. We'll just stay with the on-track action here.
So we got Nathan driving with Jackson behind him. We got 2 people into the pits. Looks like Justin's going to be headed into the pit with Austin.
But this race is really heating up here. So we got Jackson, who is getting closer and closer to Nathan Blackerby in the number 2.
Oh, and looks Nathan's like Nathan is signaling the pit.
All right. So we'll bring in our 3rd car for the
3 people in the pits. Here we go.
We can line up the timers all night, guys. So almost hitting the race at the halfway mark. Almost 15 minutes to remain. We'll follow their pit stops because we also...
All right, let's hope Justin can pull up into the pit. It does not look like he's going to be pulling up.
I'm willing to bet that radio call came in for Nathan. I'll bet for the pits because Jackson was coming from behind.
Yep. So. Smart move.
Yep.
He can go.
Safe merge, and then we'll go back to Nathan down here because we want to see where Nathan sorts out when he gets back out on track.
No, they don't have to be completely buckled as they're pulling up. They just have to be completely buckled.
They just have to be ready after they launch out the line.
Okay.
So. All right, so we're watching the timer as it expires, and then we're going to watch Nathan and see if
there's Giovanni.
Yeah.
Yelling at his dad to go. Here they go. We'll see where he's merging in at. Looks like he has a pretty good merge, and he's right in front of Jackson.
Jackson Parks Baker comes out right behind. Still
All right, this is going to be a battle. We know they were getting into it a little earlier into the race. We'll see if Jackson will probably catch up a little bit just because of the cold tires that Nathan's going to be dealing with.
A little bit, but Nathan had a great pit stop.
He did, yes.
When you consider that he's basically gained a full car length on him, that's pretty good.
While they're, bumper to bumper going in.
And if I had to guess, Jackson's probably heavy on the boost.
Oh, yeah. Nathan's probably conservative, too.
Yeah.
It's probably like, I'm going to wait till my tires are warm.
Yep.
Yeah, this is going to be a battle between these two. I know it looks like this will be for maybe third place, I want to say.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, Jonathan and Katie still have to sort through here.
Yeah.
Oh, Jackson's going to get out the inside of turn 1. Is he going to be alongside far enough? He is.
Perfect.
He is, and Nathan's going to give him the room for the pass.
Yeah, Jackson's throwing down some quick times, so as you can see, he's already kind of building a gap. Maybe he is just hitting a bunch of the boost.
Could be.
Oh, is Katie...
Oh, no, Katie's going sideways. You got to look out.
Not sure what happened to Katie there. Oh, as we have another guy into the wall.
And he pulled off momentarily as well.
Wow.
Scary moment for Katie Wise, who
almost went into reverse.
Was just assuming that Jackson was going to see her coming around the corner there.
Yeah, but...
Oh, no, somebody who's going to go way offline into the wrong direction of the pits. Not sure what that is about. So Armand's going to go 10 to him.
Wow. All right.
My guess is that there was something to do with Katie's situation there, so they'll get that sorted out. Following along with the number 12 now. Justin Walker.
Not sure.
And then he's going to have the number 10 of Caden down his back, because Caden's still running a little wide back there.
As it looked like Ethan just came into the pit, so the only two that still need a pit are
Katie and Xander.
And Timothy. I don't think Timothy has pitted.
Yeah. Jonathan Douglas started on the pole position, but he was also your first pit stopper. Caden getting a little anxious back there.
Looks
in car
like
number
Jonathan's going to be getting caught into some traffic.
We'll check on his onboard here. We're just losing too much signal. Sorry about that.
Jonathan's going to get past Timothy. We'll see if he's able to cut away. It looks like Justin just went real wide through those. Caden's going to get past Justin.
Yep. Jonathan's going to be nice and patient through here. Number 12 hits the sideways and gives him a little bump into 5 because he just kind of overslowed back there.
Yeah.
And then we'll be past. That'll be good.
Who was it that we saw that pulled out? Was that Austin? He pulled out of the race, maybe?
It might be because he's not ticking off laps. So the number 18, Austin Leslie, might be out. Yeah, so really we're going to be looking for the number 1 of Katie Wise.
It's really where Katie comes out.
Yeah, it's going to be...
and Xander. I don't know how far away Xander is from Katie right now.
But with that spin, 1.3 seconds is the gap.
Okay.
And then there's 38 seconds back to Timothy. So let's see. Jonathan has 70 seconds with the delta being around. It's right around 85, I believe. So obviously Katie spun sideways, so she lost some time there. At this point, if she cycled through, she would probably most likely be behind Jonathan.
She might even be behind Nathan just because of that spin out. It looked like she was stopped there for a while. Maybe when Nathan passed her there, that was pretty much the passing. Interested to see what Armand and Owen have to say with whatever happened.
So somebody really observed the blue flag by pulling way off the line in turn 1.
As Jackson's just
weaving his way through
mowing through people.
Yeah.
Looks like he just got past court 31, which is Kyle.
Yeah, at this point, Jackson just has his sights set on Jonathan Douglas.
Yeah.
We'll see what the gap is when they go by this time.
You can see Jonathan is kind of into turn 3 right now, so he's about 2 turns ahead of Jackson.
Yeah, about 3.5 seconds according to the timing. And he is a man on the move for sure.
He really is.
just under 10 minutes remaining in the race.
Wonder when Katie will pit.
Right there.
She just pitted?
That's it. Cart number one.
There you go.
Yep. Katie Wise into the pits. So we will follow her on the pit stops. If we could get down
see
there.
Where she comes out at.
Let's follow Katie Wise in the pits, guys.
Oh, there she is.
Perfect.
All right. She's going to go.
Appreciate our new camera operator working with us tonight. First time running an endurance race. Appreciate it.
Here she goes. Oh. Catch her, Jacob.
Yeah. As long as she stops before the line.
Smart. Yes.
Yep.
Just get up there, then do it. Just so you're up there.
Yep, that's right. She doesn't care about the technical
She
stuff.
probably doesn't even know that somebody is behind her.
Xander temporarily assumes the lead as 15 seconds remain for Katie to rejoin.
All right. So with 10 seconds, we'll see where she comes out, see how bad that stoppage that she was at affects her. Here she goes. We'll see where she merges in at.
Right
Looks
there.
like there's Ethan, so wow.
Yeah, she dropped down quite a few spots.
Yeah, she did.
She probably will slot in around 8th position. Looks like Caden probably behind her.
Yep.
And we will find out when they
and we're
trip
gonna
the timing line.
Wait for Timothy and Xander to pit. Hopefully Xander remembers.
He's experienced now, I'm sure.
Yes, Katie will be in 5th place technically after the other two pit. 5th or 6th.
Yep, so a little bit of lost ground there for Katie Wise. Our next battle, I believe, we were watching to see if the gap between your 3rd and 4th position drivers changed at all. Jackson Parks Baker with Jonathan Douglas, the potential leaders of the race with the pit stops.
There's Jonathan. He just came down the straight. It looks like Austin is back out there. He is clicking away some laps.
Yeah, so we're just following on track here with Ethan Mass with Katie Wise behind. And then
I want to say that's Kyle Donahue.
Yes, 31. That was a good way to let him by. Now you get to follow him.
Yeah.
You know? Never
learn your line.
Yeah, never condone anybody for letting somebody by because now you get to follow
Looks
them.
like Xander, Xander just got spun out a little bit. Looks upset.
Yeah.
Coming into the pit now.
Yeah, good. That's a good time to do it. You know, if that kind of stuff happens, just pit. You have to do it anyway. You only got 7 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah.
Good time. That was Timothy in front. I think they just had a little mishap in turn 4.
Oh.
All right. Sorry.
It's a blue jersey.
It is.
Blue.
It's almost as easy to see as Tyler Stevenson.
All right. Oh.
He doesn't have to stay in the lane, but he's
okay.
allowed to pull up to the line. So
I did not know that.
Yeah. Because essentially, if you have somebody who has a foul in front of you,
you have to go around.
You can go around. So both lanes are acceptable.
All right. He will merge out. We'll see where he comes out between Caden and Katie, I assume. As it looks like Katie just came around turn 1. Yep, so he'll be a little ways behind Katie, but he is in front of Caden.
So the only person we're waiting for a pit stop from is Timothy. I'd always be interested to get his impressions after running an endurance race. It's a long race for being
It's a battle.
Cars
It's a
the first
battle
time.
too, with the cart and the people out there.
Yeah. And that's him who just crossed the line there, and there's Jonathan Douglas behind. So we're going to pay attention to this gap here. Jonathan Douglas and the guy in the white helmet behind, Jackson Parks Baker.
Jackson really has caught up because now he's going to be stuck behind Timothy a little bit here.
Yep.
We'll see if Jackson can cut down this gap
And
before the blue flag at the start-finish line.
This will quickly become the battle for the lead.
Okay, he's going to let Timothy...
And hopefully Timothy sees that Jackson was back there, but he didn't, so Jackson's going to sneak his way through.
He's going to fight his way through there.
There we go.
Looks like...
that's going to close up the gap even closer between him and Jonathan.
Timothy's best laps this race is 26.5, which is pretty good. It gets him...
he's improving.
Now has the blue dot.
All right, so this is it. So
they're right on each other. Here we go.
Everybody has sorted through, and traffic has been contended with. Now you've got the number 2, Jackson, fighting for the number 1, essentially, of Jonathan Douglas. Because
now it's really just Hussein Boost.
Yeah, there we go. So now we got Timothy coming in for his pit stop.
All right, you can see Jonathan looking to his left and right because he probably feels that Jackson's behind him.
Yep. This is one thing
Jackson's got to keep it clean.
Nope, he's going to wave him by.
Yep, and looks like Armand is headed out there to...
That'll bring Jackson Parks Baker to the front of this race with just 4 minutes remaining. And he's already going to start checking out. I joked with Jonathan before about the moving the head back and forth and getting under pressure and stuff, and he did that, but he, essentially let him by in turn 5 back there. So
I have a different opinion on that.
What's that?
I just think he got bumped out of the way.
You want to replay it?
Try to see if this is it. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to cue this back up here in turn 5.
Yep, you're all good.
All right, so here we go in slow motion. But Jonathan's looking to his right.
But you get that little push right.
Well, he did, but keep going. So Jonathan holds his line to the outside, but then he's going to wave him
Jonathan
by.
Jonathan did. But Jonathan is that racer who's really nice and will let you by if he feels that you're faster.
But I would contend that he could have stayed on the racing line.
He could have, yes, through that turn.
It was a pretty square bump from behind. It wasn't something that pushed him off the side.
I didn't see that he waved him by. But you could tell Jackson's he's flying right now.
Yeah, he's carving. I mean, we saw it from the very beginning of the race when he was going purple.
The gap he had was like 2 whole turns, and he got that.
Yeah.
I wonder what his fastest time this race is. 25.3. Very good.
Yeah, we saw purple next to his name quite a few times. And as soon as Timothy sorts through on the start-finish line, then we'll see the gap between Nathan. It should be a total of... I always forget if it's 15 plus 4. I am not sure
if Timothy's pitted. It looked like somebody... Like, if you look at Justin Walker, his lap time is 146 seconds. It looks like he came into the pits.
Well, Justin did, but so did Tim. I saw car 3 come into the pits.
We haven't had the... Kart 3 switched yet. I don't know where Timothy is.
Well, that's true because he has racked off 60 laps, so he's right behind him, Michael. If you want to look, right there to your left.
There! I just saw him come up. So he has not pitted yet.
All right, so I stand corrected. Yeah, I thought
maybe he just forgot. You never know.
Yeah, this would be a good time right here. He's just struggling to keep the cart from underneath him.
Nope, that's Justin. I'm not sure what Justin's doing.
He's just struggling to stay on track at this point. All right, so we'll go back to the first and second spots here.
This looks like Jonathan's cut down the gap a little bit. Jackson just needs to run 1 more minute of just run. Don't look behind you. What's up?
As he's hopping around turn number 2. Looks like we'll probably get 2 more laps under the belt.
Does not look like Timothy is pitting today. Looks like he's still out there. And
well, we did say that they was required, and if you don't, you're DNF'd. But
which, hey, you never know. Maybe he's just trying to run as many laps as he can. And
just go for the experience level.
All right, we're going to have Jackson catching up to some traffic here. We'll see if they allow him to pass or how this is going to go.
He needs to make sure he's patient with this. If he's not, then he got
screw up
his race.
The one guy. Here comes Jonathan trying to get around.
Good, smart move. He didn't go down the inside of turn 5.
Looks like he's stuck behind right now. Kyle.
Now he'll be able to tuck it in a little bit
closer.
Kyle
should just let him go by. Okay.
Give him just a little bit more room. All right.
As the checker flag is waving.
I'm not sure why Owen is starting the checkered flag when time hasn't expired yet, but Oh, he's trying to get all the last laps remaining.
Oh, because it ends at 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So, good job.
So that'll do it. In his first endurance race, Jackson Parks Baker rounds the last turn and takes the B main.
And Jonathan second, followed by Nathan Blackerby. And then Katie will be fourth. And we just got to move Timothy all the way to the bottom.
The gap between second and third being 18 seconds.
Yeah.
Jonathan and Jackson having a great battle there towards the end.
Those two are flying out there. Great job, Jackson. I know he's going to be super excited. I wish we had Mike so we could interview him. Unless you want me to bring him up here so you could talk to him.
Well, yeah, maybe we could do that because it's probably going to be a minute.
There will be some time in between, yes.
He'd probably be happy to be on the stream.
You want me to go run down there and see if I can get him?
Yeah, let's do that. Or, well, we could just radio him down. Just ask him to come up.
Jonathan was shaking his fist. He must be excited for second. Smart move, though. You know, Jackson was behind him and was running super quick.
Yes.
Jackson, go up to
You can hear him. He's going to be so excited to go up here.
He's never been up here before, so he probably has to go find his way.
It's dark in here.
Yes, go that way. That's okay. You don't have to follow him, Michael. We don't want to give away our secret of where we reside over here. We might get beat up someday. No, I'm just kidding. So what did you guys think? Did you like that?
I definitely thought it was pretty interesting.
A
lot of action. In
case you couldn't tell, we were having trouble keeping on top of it as well. So, if you guys have just joined us, welcome. So this is K1 Speed Canton. We have an exclusive endurance series that we run once a month. It is a 7-round endurance championship that we'll run this month and next month and every month, all the way through the month of August. So we're glad you guys have found the channel. And if you guys are a friend of this guy, then we'll get to sit down and talk to him for just a minute.
Michael forced me to come up here.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to come see you. So did you have any problems finding us?
Kinda.
Okay. Well, congratulations on your B main victory. What did you think tonight?
I'm going to come back.
Yeah?
Hopefully.
So we looked at the replay between your pass for the lead back there in turn 5 with Jonathan. Looks like you might have tapped him from behind. What was your take on what happened?
Jonathan, the guy who got second.
Yeah, the guy you passed the lead.
I think he assumed that I wasn't in first. I don't think he knew that was for position yet. So
you don't think he knew that?
No, he told me that. He told me down in the pit. He didn't know that was for position.
Is that why he waved you by?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Jonathan, you gotta pay attention to the leaderboard, man. Yeah. So you had excellent pace. What did you feel going into the race?
I don't know. My qualifying wasn't great at all.
Not compared to your race pace. I mean, your race pace was much better.
I think I did like a 25.372.
And so when you hit the track and it was a cold start, tell us a little bit about what all played out.
At the start, I gotta think of who was in front of me. You know who was in front of me? Because I feel
it was Katie and Jonathan.
I think Xavier got shoved out within the first 10 laps. I think he got shoved out in the first corner. I think so. I think that's what helped me get by.
We did see an incident back there with turn 5, which set him a little bit behind the rest.
Yeah.
But did you notice that on the scoreboard you were setting purple laps from the field?
I did notice that. That was shocking to me. I mean, I think the boost is obviously a help.
Yeah. This is your first boost race, right?
Yep, first endurance race.
Yeah, endurance and boost. Yeah, absolutely. So the first time you hit the boost, what was your impressions?
Felt a little kick because I do it coming out of the carousel. I felt like I could tell there was a kickback on it.
Yeah.
So I had to get prepared on some of those laps that I was hitting the boost.
Did it catch you off guard at all because of having to brake the additional acceleration coming into the next corner?
First corner, I kept hitting people if they were in front of me because I did not realize how much I would have to brake going through there.
We saw a lot of that bumper-to-bumper action at the very start of the race. So
Me and Nathan were going at it.
Yeah.
A couple laps, yeah.
Yeah, so we saw him kind of gesture to you. Was it a friendly gesture? Was it a...
The track marshal, I forget his name.
Armand,
yeah. He gave him the blue flag that lap, but then coming out of turn 1, going into turn 2, I think he shoved me in the wall a little bit.
Okay. All right. Other than that, pretty interesting race.
Yeah, that was.
You're going to be back next month for the teen league, I assume.
Yeah.
If at all possible, right?
Hopefully.
Just kind of play this month.
As long as I don't have any events going on, I'll definitely be back.
Oh, wait, we're not that high on your priority list? Is that what you're saying?
You are, but if I'm like out of town.
Oh, okay.
Like if I'm at my grandparents, I'll come back here and race.
Okay.
Try and have my grandparents watch me.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you in future events, and hopefully you come back for the endurance, because even if you complete all the other ones, like, you would still be in the points. So
yeah,
congratulations for that. So, any last comments for your fans or people watching out there?
Is the race going on? The A main?
Not yet.
I want Jensen to win this one, or Anthony, one of those two.
All right. Well, we will leave it at that. Jackson Parks Baker, congratulations on winning the B main tonight. Yeah.
People, there's David with his famous wave at the camera.
Wave back, even though you can't see us.
He will tonight.
Your hand's not on the screen.
Here we go.
Yeah. You don't. I know you don't like sitting over here, but
what? I don't know how the chair moved. Maybe Jackson was.
I don't know.
Going away. They all got their World Championship shirts. I see.
Who did?
I don't know. David has one, or is that from last year?
That's from last year.
Okay.
Yeah, World Championships coming up here soon. National Championships.
Yeah, and we got
essentially next Friday.
2 guys in here,
K1
Jensen
circuit.
and Gavin.
Exactly, 2
and
representatives from Canton.
And then David in the adult one will be out there.
And you and I were talking about their juniors the other day. Man, so we're going to be out there, and we're going to get to see these guys compete, but we're not going to get to see the juniors at the same time.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this.
Really?
I was thinking I could just go and watch the juniors.
Okay,
and then depending on how it goes, if our juniors maybe didn't make it, then I'd try to drive and get there by the Worlds of the circuit.
Well, supposedly it's an hour drive between the two, so
probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah,
California traffic.
That would be something if.
But I don't know. I can keep you guys updated and stuff. But
they do have a film crew going to the juniors. And so there will be some sort of
updates,
videos that are made.
But I thought, maybe one of us being there and support them.
Yeah, because
we got McAllen, Josephine, and Blake out there.
Great junior drivers. I really do think they stand a great chance of defending the Canton title, the K1 title for Canton. I should say that properly.
As Giovanni holds it, right?
Giovanni's the current one, yeah. In the current format, he's basically the first guy to capture it that way.
Yeah.
And then we've got Mark's sister coming through the GP series this year.
Yeah.
We interviewed her last month. If you guys saw it on the stream, she's
super quick. She's getting faster and faster.
She's doing 27.1s today during practice and just keeps feeling faster and faster. So if she keeps the points lead, it would be great to see if Canton can hold the junior world champion,
That'd
be awesome. We know the competition's very stiff out there, but we have a lot of confidence in them, so good luck to all those drivers heading out to K1 circuit here before too long.
And now we're going to grid these guys up. This is going to be a battle.
Yeah.
We'll just see if Tyler can hold on to his position.
I think Armand's going to have his hands full.
Yeah.
They're going to be smart, conscientious drivers to an extent.
I think with Armand running this, he's understanding what we had to go through when we would run these races. Or like Boost League and stuff like that. There's just a lot of bumping, hitting.
Yeah, so let's touch on that because I'm sure it's an important topic for everyone who's watching. Like, we talk about bumping, but it's not really bumping that we care about.
Yeah.
It's expected that these cars are going to get bumped and tapped and you're going to hit somebody from behind and that kind of stuff. The contact and the hitting, I think, is a better term to use. The hitting is just, that can't be done. So that's what he's going to be looking out for sure. But we go through this all the time. I mean, we run these other leagues for juniors and teens and the GP series and stuff like that. But nobody likes having contact. But the fact is, if somebody's, as Owen says, beating in your bumper,
maybe it's just best to let them by.
You probably need to let them by, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not outside the rules. these are cars with bumpers, a little bit different from the rest of the competitive world, and this is not simulator world where you get computers that know exactly how hard a car was hit and from what angle, and
or you respawn.
that would be something. But anyway, we'll reset the field. We're glad you guys are with us tonight as we are looking forward to a great race. Here again, like I said, Tyler Stevenson sitting on pole position 2 weeks in a row. I'm sure he's anxious to see what he can do with this race. It's going to come down to perfect execution as usual.
Owen's giving the signal, visors down, feet off the pedals. We're going to go green here shortly. As they're green, Grant has a better jump than what I think Tyler did, as he's already on Tyler.
Great jump from all of those front drivers. The only one pulling out a little bit of a gap is Gavin.
Gavin just
bumping kind of off to the side.
That's going to give Anthony some room to catch up, but Anthony's going
to give it by.
Yep, and now David's going to try to take the inside.
But Dom D'Angelo's going to be right there. He's going to give...
It's like one person mess up. Everybody can move positions.
Smart driving,
Gavin's going to pass Grant down in turn 1.
Grant's going to do a smart inside line, but Gavin's going to push him off to the right-hand side there. That was a little bit abrupt.
Yeah, these guys are going to battle.
Yeah.
It might be like this the whole race.
But
it looks like something is out there on the track.
But this is Grant's first start from up here in the front of the field. This has got to be nerve-wracking for him.
Yeah, and you got Anthony and David right behind you.
Yeah,
like,
him in the number 1 spot.
I know I would be shaking as Anthony's going to try and...
Nope, he's going to give him lots of room, so they're going to go
Grant
side
should
by
still
side.
have this.
Get him back in the next corner, but Anthony... he's going to give it to him. He's going to give... Nope.
Grant should still have this going into 4s. Hopefully they don't hit whatever. I think that's a GoPro out there.
Basically, this is going to allow Tyler Stevenson a great opportunity to check out from the field because also Gavin Patterson has gotten past him as well. And now Grant's going to get swallowed up by those 2 other drivers, the experienced Anthony and David Pons.
It looks like Grant's just trying to take that first turn really tight.
Yeah, he might have been doing that just to help with the traffic, though.
Trying to hold him behind you. As Dominic is behind Grant.
I don't know. I don't read that as like the defensive line. I did read that as far as he was just making sure that he didn't have somebody up inside his line. And so he wanted to cut it in. Dom D'Angelo is going to be hot on his tails as the rest of the guys now
followed by Jensen and PJ.
Anthony Narowski, fastest lap so far. A lot of pressure from...
That really does help out Tyler, though, them battling back there.
It does. A lot of pressure from behind the number 1 machine as Dom's going to take a look, but then back off just a little bit.
And you don't want to mess up your look and end up falling back.
Because your winner from last round is right in the back of that red helmet, Jensen Janda.
Yeah, we'll get to see what Jensen can do again, see if he can move up the field.
Now Grant's doing the defensive line, that for sure. He knew that there was nobody down the inside of him into turn 1.
A lot of the times when you're quick like this, you just got to race. As Dom's going to get a good pass there.
And we know at the same time, up in the front of the field, Gavin has got his sights set on Tyler. But right here is the battle we're going to stay with.
Looks like Jensen's going to boost around him. Take that position. So now we're going to have Grant with PJ, followed by Dave, Mark, and Sean. Tyler with the fastest time so far, 25.387.
I've been on these grids for boost nights when we've hit the green lights. I know what this feels like, Grant. I know exactly. Don't get discouraged. Just hang in there as everybody else is going to round. And like you said, Dom is going to be there in the top 5, the 25.3.
Looks like the first 4 might have pretty much gapped each other out. Just everybody has a nice little gap. These back guys are battling. Sean's going to try to make a pass on Mark. Mark's going to hold it.
Yeah, not to be forgetting that Mark Davis is back there with Sean Horgan as the back of the field. So basically you're watching the tail end of the pack.
Yeah.
All on the first half of the track, essentially.
These guys are right behind each other.
Grant fighting for his life in the number 1 machine. I would love to know how much boost he's got left on board.
Man, 4 minutes in with...
TPG is going to have the inside on that line. That's going to lose him another spot. And
Dave is going to make the pass on turn 1.
A lot cleaner than it was last month. So
he watched the video.
Yeah, right, yeah.
The video helped.
He was used as the example in the driver's meeting. Got a good laugh out of that.
Well, before the meeting, he said, "I'll try not to hit anybody this time."
Oh, Grant's going to get a pit stop.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
so
smart.
he's
That's
gonna be
smart.
on
Just
one.
get out of it, regroup, take a breath. Maybe you just weren't enjoying the kart. Maybe and just
and
get a new restart.
And we'll stay with on-track
And
action
boost,
for this.
yes.
Yeah, that's my guess. If you use boost from the get-go, it does screw you up quite a bit.
All right.
But just conjecture at this point. Tyler Stevenson, purple, 25-2 last time by. Gavin only 4/10 behind him as the rest of the field here
It's
still
pretty far back, yeah. From Gavin to Anthony to David.
Rest of the field here still
Looks
trying to
like
sort out.
Sean's going to – nope. Sean keeps trying to pass, but he keeps pulling off at the last second.
Yep, he realized he wasn't alongside far enough. As we have Mark's onboard camera, but it's cutting in and out, so we won't switch to that. We'll stay overhead.
Maybe because he has so many GoPros on over there.
Probably. Jensen Janda is going to be one of the first people to pit as well.
Tyler bests his time at the 25.178. And you do get an extra point with fastest lap in the most movers, right? And pole?
Yeah, fastest lap of the race is 2 bonus points.
Okay.
It has changed from last series, so.
So that is pretty important to get, the fastest lap.
It is.
As we see Jensen sitting in the pits, getting ready to go out. He's got 13 seconds left.
These two guys back here with Sean and Mark Davis potentially teaming up at some point.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see if that comes to fruition.
Sean might not want to bump him.
Yeah.
Be too aggressive.
Yeah, setting up good team manners right away.
Anthony has came into the pits.
Anthony's going to ditch the number 36.
A lot of these guys are pitting pretty quick.
Yep. Which I didn't notice if Anthony was in particular traffic. Let's see, down in his last lap time, he was 2.5 second gap to the guy in front. So the timer you're watching on the upper right-hand corner of your screen is displayed down there in the pits for the driver who has done a kart swap.
Looks like PJ's pulling away a little bit from Dave there.
They will pull up to the line and wait for expiration of time. Looks like the 55-second rule is working out pretty well for him as he gets the green light to go.
Someone like Tyler, where you have all that space, you might as well just keep throwing down as fast as you can.
Yes, absolutely.
But once you catch up to somebody, I'd pit. Let's get out of the way. Try to see if you can get back into the field at a cleaner spot.
Well, we talked about earlier, too, about the warm-ups. So Tyler was really on fire with his warm-ups, too, and he was actually beating Gavin. So you can see now where that makes sense with the pace. He's actually pulled out just a little bit more of a gap. He went from
That's Gavin.
Gavin goes purple,
25.130.
But I did see that gap going from a 0.8 seconds to a 1.1. So Tyler checked out just a little bit of space on him. You're following the white helmet of Anthony Narowski, scored in 9th right now, but ostensibly one of your top 5 leaders when things sort out as the race progresses.
We'll see what Anthony can do. It looks like he's still ahead of Jensen, and they both pit.
Yeah, Michael,
that's a pretty good gap.
Michael, if we back out just a little bit, we see David Pons, and we'll see the two of these guys and see if the gap changes at all.
Yeah, so David has not pitted yet. Anthony has. These guys are all throwing down pretty good times.
Yeah, I was interested to see if David was going to catch up to him at all, but
he is kind of catching up.
A little bit. A little bit.
We'll see what their times are as they come across here. Anthony 25.7, David 25.4 as David's now right on his tail.
Look at the difference in the line. So Anthony broke really early and cut turn 1 really tight, and then David breaking really late.
We do know Anthony does have a very smooth line, though.
Yeah.
You can't even tell if somebody's out there half the time.
Now David's really giving him the pressure. He's brought it down to just a couple bumper lengths. I don't know how wide that is, but we'll just say that's the case. And for those who have done pit stops, They get new 15 presses of the boost button for 15% added acceleration. So one of the possible detriments of pitting early is that
now you got to wait.
If you don't use them all up, then you've essentially wasted some of your boost.
David's going to try to make the pass on one, but he kind of gave up there.
Yep.
Probably didn't think he was going to be able to have enough steam to get past him. Smart move.
Last week with the GP series, which we did not stream, Anthony was quite upset that the driver behind was bumping quite a bit, and so we'll see if David.
Who was the driver behind?
David maintains this. It was.
See,
I should
past
remember.
him, but Anthony's going to hold it. We'll see if David holds it going into 3. Yep, that's smart. Yep.
David got him as
nothing
Dom
to do about it.
is going to slot in
Dom's
the back.
Coming right behind him.
Sometimes I think that David is like trying to lean the car, but I think it's just it's the natural progression of how he steers.
It's the torque in those things.
Yeah, that's right.
If you want to see someone lean the cart, watch Jonathan over and over.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
really
Yep.
he throws that cart around.
Now these guys lined up nose to tail. Your leader of the pack there, David. He's also heading to the K1 National Championships next Friday. Looking forward to see what he can do at circuit with those OTL Performance go-karts, Performance Electric.
How fast do those go?
At least 80.
80? Wow.
But it's all in the programming, right? So like our cars, they technically go 65 miles an hour too, but
yeah. But I mean, yeah.
Depends on what
they
you're
have a big
programmed for.
track and
yeah. Oh yeah,
awesome.
ours are they're undrivable, I say, on our small little track. Dom just slots himself past.
Figure it out.
We pretty much were just talking all the way through, but Dom slotted past Anthony Dorofsky there.
So now Dom and David are going to be right behind each other. Neither of them have pitted, so this is for a position. And so it looks like there's Jensen right behind Anthony. So Jensen is catching up to David, which is going to help him.
And we're still keeping an eye on the first two, the gap between Tyler and Gavin.
They're gone.
Yeah.
They checked out.
Well, they are 7 seconds ahead, but the gap between them still maintaining pretty consistent with 1.4
Looks
seconds.
like I just saw Tyler going through turn 5 with Gavin in turn 4.
But we'll stay with these guys because Dom D'Angelo and David Pons for position.
We'll see if Dom's going to be able to get past David at all. Or if any of them even have any boost left.
Looking forward to potentially having the outdoor track open by next month, weather permitting. Wasn't quite warm enough today to get that open, and some of our technical stuff wasn't exactly set up yet, so give it a few more weeks. We are going to be back with you about 5 weeks from now. We are running this race a week early because of Easter being next Sunday. We hope you guys enjoy the time off, and then we'll go 4 weeks after that for the next round. Cameraman Michael really steadying things up. We're pretty good following these leaders. What do you think?
He was telling me when I was down there his arm is sore. I said, okay. I thought he worked out all the time, but maybe not. Yeah. Maybe it's just pictures.
And Jensen Janda going to
trying to get past Anthony.
These two teammates for the 12 hour from DHB.
I wonder if Nathan's in Jensen's ear. I know he was last race. I did see Nathan with the headset on, but
yeah. So they did confirm with me that they run a mesh network for them. So
oh, really?
Yeah,
that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So last race, Jensen was actually joined with his quote unquote teammate, Gavin Patterson.
Gavin puts down 25.024. Yeah. He does have the indoor record, so
yep.
We'll see if he can break it under 25s here.
Jensen was able to do a 24-second lap time last race.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's up. It's possible. I said at the beginning of the broadcast I didn't think it was going to be possible, but he had done it. Jensen looking all over the back of Anthony Dorofsky. Anthony was the pole sitter for the 12 hours of Canton here about 4 weeks ago. So he definitely knows what it's like to be in these karts and handle them in the highest performance manner possible. So since we followed these, there's Anthony going down the inside.
Kind kind of hits Dom.
Yep, that's going to give Jensen the opportunity to squeeze through there because that's going to, Anthony has to give that spot back due to that contact. Adam will re-cue it for us. And assuming that all plays out, that'll keep the positions as they are and Jensen move it up a spot.
See what?
Car number 21, Tyler Stevenson hitting the pits. All right, your leader is in the pits, so let's follow him. Let's follow Mr. Blue Man. It's going to be important that this is executed as smoothly as possible to make sure he can stay in front of the number 2. In the meantime, Gavin Patterson will assume the lead of the race. There's a train of cars squeaking by turn 1, so sorry to those of you who are following Mark Davis. His onboard is not static enough for us to bring you that action, unfortunately. So, Tyler, make sure you don't pass that line. It sure looked like maybe a little nervous.
Who passed who? Was it Dom game past Anthony there?
Yes.
Okay.
And Tyler's going to be rejoining that pack that we were just talking about. He's going to be squeezing in between the number 2 of, I believe that's Sean Horrigan, yes, and the number 20, the number 12 of Grant. So now Grant gets to follow the presumed leader of the race, yeah. Giving Grant some time to sort things out and calm down after we're past the halfway point.
Not sure where it went.
So essentially giving Pons the number 2 spot temporarily, and Dom D'Angelo rounding out your top 3. Gavin's actually in that light blue helmet in the back of that pack, right behind Grant in the black and blue helmet. The black and blue rental helmet.
Looks like Sean's helmet kind of looks a little like Tristan's as well. Armand is throwing the let pass to somebody. I think that was for Gavin to get past Grant. And Gavin's coming up on Sean here. Tyler's going to need to find a way to get past Mark so he can try to get some clean track space.
Yes, we'll watch Tyler and Mark here. Tyler's going to squeeze down on the inside of it.
Perfect.
Mark's
there we go.
And then
Gavin did get past Sean.
I saw some hands back there between Sean and Grant.
They're saying hi to each other.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Yeah. And we'll pay attention to the lap time here of the number 24 in 8th position, 25.5.
25.5 as Gavin's going to get past Mark as well. So now we're going to have them. It's going to be wherever Gavin comes out when he pits again.
It will be.
See how close he is. I think Tyler should still have a lead, couple kart lengths going in whenever Gavin pits. There is only 12 minutes left in this race. As I still think we need Gavin, David, Dom, PJ, Dave, Mark, and Sean to all pit.
We do need a lot of more people. A lot more pit stops.
We got 11 minutes and 20-some seconds left. As it looks like Sean has now came into the pit.
I'm intently watching the gap between these two. And they are so evenly paced. This is what we were seeing in the first 15 minutes of the race, too, was that 1.1 second gap time was just not changing. Tyler Stevenson on rails, very determined at this point to just try to pull out a win. He's been so close for so many rounds. Pole positions, fast laps, fastest laps of the race.
just a hump you got to get over, and maybe he'll start winning a bunch.
It would just be so nice in his mind to get to that ultimate prize, but not to be forgotten by the little Patterson,
Gavin,
who's still seeking his first victory in an endurance race as well. No, take that back. He has won an endurance race before. He has one under his belt from last season.
Okay.
So apologies. I'm trying to keep all the seasons.
Be very interesting. We have so many fast drivers that we could have 7 different winners this year.
I'd love to see
each month a different winner. It'd be insane.
Right, so last time by 25-4 for Gavin and Tyler 25-2, another 25-2, and another 25-4. So Tyler's actually pulled out
He's gaining
just
a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see it out there too.
0.2 a lap can add up on this short little indoor track at K1 Speed in Canton, Ohio.
You never know. Some people do like the outdoor more than they like the indoor, and they're better at the outdoor too.
Well, last year we talked about how Gavin had a hard time adapting to the outdoor. This year he's really looking forward to the outdoor opening up because he finished the season last year on a high note, doing very well.
He started whenever we did have the outdoor opening a couple weeks ago. He got the fastest lap, already at 38, which is pretty crazy.
Went out there right away. Dom D'Angelo looks like he's going to be in the pits.
Man, we still do need a lot of people to pit.
And the number 25 also going to dip in, Mark Davis.
All right, we'll see where Dom can come out of this pit. See where he's at, because he could be like in front of Jensen. So here comes Mark into the pits.
And we're going to have a third pit stopper as well.
As he stops, bumps the cart in front of him, hops out, and then he's got all that time.
Dom's going to be in the corner
roll
of your
up
screen
and
down
buckle
here.
up.
Jensen, 25.000.
Wow.
So close to the 24 mark.
If we were doing that one thing, he would...
oh, yeah.
Perfect lap.
The perfect lap.
All right, there goes Dom. He might have been delayed by like
slow getting away.
2 seconds as he's going to come out behind Jensen.
Behind Jensen.
Wow.
Just that little bit of hesitation cost him quite a bit of ground there.
You got to be ready. So here comes... I think that's Mark that should be coming out of the pits now.
Yeah, he was in 26, I believe.
And then who else pit?
I think Mark was the last one.
Was it? Well, we have someone else in there. We had 3 people pit.
Oh, sorry. So
it looks like it's PJ.
Oh, PJ, sorry.
Okay. So PJ's going to come out right behind Anthony here, about a couple turns down. But he's behind Dave. Dave has not pit yet. So maybe Gavin and his father are on the same page. Maybe they're going to pit around the same time.
Probably. Anthony Narowski very much on the bumper of Dom D'Angelo now. This one is for position. Down there is 7th and 8th. Another car pulling in for pit stops. The number 33 of Gavin Patterson, your leader.
All right. We'll try to check to see where Gavin is when he comes out compared to Tyler. So it looks like Gavin has not... Oh, forgot it takes a little bit.
Yeah. The pit timer starts all the way at the back of the pits.
Got to get his booster. See, as Jensen's into the 24s. There we go. 24.998.
Is again. Fastest lap of the race so far.
Those are valuable points you can get.
These kids, man, they're fast.
They just get faster, too. It's not fair.
That's 18 dipping off. Dave Patterson, his father.
All right, let's see where Gavin's coming out. He's got 8 seconds.
We're going to follow this one closely.
As you can see, Nathan is looking at Gavin. All right, here goes Gavin. Looks like he's behind Tyler a good bit.
Yep.
About the gap where he came in.
Perfect execution from both of those drivers. No spots changed, and the gap very similar.
Don't even see where third place is.
If anything else, I'm looking to see, because Tyler Stevens is still laying down those 25.22 second lap times. So I think he's actually edging out Gavin a little bit every lap.
Yeah.
As fast as Gavin is.
Tyler's just been really consistent with this kart.
Well, all the karts tonight. He's been on rails all night. He was running a car with no boost on it. That was running 25.3. So,
yeah. $25.24. All right.
Time is just clicking off Very fast. We're going to be close to the 5-minute warning.
So it looks like David has came into the pits. This might be his timer.
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
assuming.
It is. Yeah, he was 28.
We'll see if David can come out in front of Jensen. See if we see David. David is right behind Jensen. All right. Where did Dom go? I thought Dom was behind Jensen too.
Well, he is.
There's Dom. Oh, he's being tracked down by Anthony.
Yeah.
All right. As David's the last one. As David just gets past Jensen. I don't know if Jensen didn't meant to do that, but it looked like Jensen kind of let him by.
Yeah, what is the story with that? Because Pons is still on lap 55, so he's on the same lead on the lead lap. Did we miss his pit stop?
Yeah, David did pit.
Okay, I missed his pit stop.
He just came out.
So David's going to be defensive into one and make Jensen work for his favorite corner. I love how tight Jensen is able to take turn one. He really hugs the inside of that, very close.
So Jensen's going to try to sneak up the outside there just to let David know he's right behind him.
Regain the momentum back in 5.
You got to remember Jensen was throwing down 24, so he has that pace and that speed. He could get around.
Everybody cycled through those pit stops pretty quick.
Yeah. There goes Jensen.
Nope.
Try to get the inside.
David, the master of defense right here. He knows that's not, you don't want to go the outside of turn 4. And
looks like he's going to let him by?
Yeah, some kind of gesture there, but
I mean,
Jensen will take it.
Yeah, Jensen's moving in that cart.
Yeah.
As Dom is going to be able to catch up a little bit with them bumping into each other. As Tyler's about to lap him.
Yeah, the gap between 1 and 2 is now 5 seconds. 4 seconds on that
and Tyler
last
with a 25.007. It'll be interesting to see if he could get the fastest lap. Get some couple more points.
I mean, look at the gap between 2 and 3 though, with 17 seconds between the two. I mean, Tyler and Gavin are just been a different ballpark tonight.
Yeah, they're doing very good, very clean from the get-go. It looks like Dom or Anthony tried to make a pass on Dom into turn 1. Looks like Dom held him off. As something happened to Grant, because Grant is in last.
Well, he did a good qualification. That's a good step.
Yeah, that's a
step in the good direction. All 5 for the A main. Mark Davis holding in there on 9th position, right behind PJ. I like to see this battle right here. This, Dom and Anthony.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's situations where Dom can be call it more brash fast, like more aggressive fast, and Anthony's more like the smooth fast.
Mm-hmm. As you can kind of tell, it looks like Dom's locked in, and Anthony's kind of just
right. Yep, always
listening to elevator music. And Dom's listening to rock music or something. This is what it looks like. Dom's head's forward and Anthony's kind of just sitting back. As Tyler's about to pass him.
That needs to be a short right there. What the driver looks like versus what is actually happening in the helmet. No, Anthony's probably got Nathan yelling in his helmet.
Could be.
Or he's listening to the 2 kids from DHB.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a big gap between Gavin and Jensen. Tyler looks like, he's about to lap 6th place.
Yeah. And it'll be pretty good for...
So he gets past him. That's crazy. Tyler is moving this race.
Don't forget, though, even though Jensen's sitting in 3rd and he's still got a lot of ground to gain.
Does have fastest lap.
He's not only has fastest lap, but he's also sitting on top of the points. So this is going to be a very solid finish for him. Potentially only losing 2 points to the leader.
Potentially,
as it stands now.
He could be in conversation for biggest mover as well. I thought he started 7th.
Tyler Stevenson goes the 24.9.
24.964. Wow, that's huge for Tyler. So we got 2 racers.
1 minute to go as Tyler Stevenson's leading the race with the purple lap, bumping it up with Dom D'Angelo.
Yeah.
Not a situation you would typically see with either of these 2 guys being lapped by the leader.
I know. I'm sure like Dom's out there racing like, wait, blue flag?
Yeah,
What
blue flag. What is this? Same with Anthony.
This is a first.
With the blue man in control tonight.
30 seconds left. He's probably going to have about, they might give him checkered flag here.
Yeah, we'll have to pay attention because we missed the call last time
We'll
by.
see as Tyler's rounding, and he is going to get the checkered flag.
That is it. Tyler Stevenson will take the win for round number 2 of the Endurance Championship Series. After many, many races and excellent poles and qualification runs, it all comes together for him tonight.
Beautiful job. And in 1 second, Andy has the fastest lap. So that's good points he got.
Yeah. 2 drivers hitting the 24-second with the boost tonight.
Impressive. I know Gavin was 25.024. Gavin's right there.
Yeah, and they still ended with a gap of about 3.9, so those guys had very, very good pace tonight. I mean, when you consider 4th is 22 seconds back, that just shows you how fast these guys were on rails tonight.
Yeah, they were locked in.
And some will say it's the cart, but hey, they definitely accomplished that in a lot of different carts tonight.
You swap carts.
Yep. Apologies for not having the regular microphone for you guys tonight. We'll invite Tyler up to see if Tyler can do an interview for us.
As here comes Grant. I think Armand is wanting to talk to Grant.
As we're going to welcome you back.
There is Giovanni fist bumping everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to stop at... Nope.
That was a good race.
It was a very good race. Very impressive that he was able to lap all the way to 5th place. He lapped him.
Let's look down our...
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No.
I know if I was Dom and Anthony and I was seeing a let pass flag and you were in 5th, 6th place, I'd be like, what the heck?
Yeah, I'd be surprised. So Jensen, best lap, 24.998. Tyler, 24.964.
Yes.
With Gavin doing a 25.024.
Mm-hmm. David, Dom, and Anthony are all, and Dave and PJ, 25.1.
Dom's fastest lap was a 25.1.
Look at PJ's in 8th.
Yeah. 25.1. Did you already say Mark Davis?
No.
So 25.4.
4.
Sean, a 25.3 fastest lap. Grant, 25.3 as well. So
25.46.
Everybody's fastest laps was underneath a 25.4 tonight during the race. So.
Did they say he did not want to come up here?
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, wait. He's talking. Yeah.
No, if you can send him up. Yeah, sorry. We gotta
he was holding the mic in his hand. He's like,
oh. Well, if he doesn't want to listen to us, he could be fine. We'll hear him on the mic, but thanks, cameraman Michael. Great job. It feels like every time we come up with a solution for the onboard cameras, they get better, and then they all get worse again.
Yeah, I mean, today was kind of rushed.
Well,
I feel like with
I know with
the
situation with the onboards today was actually because of me having to get communications to Michael, so that messed up some of our wireless links. But
just fine. I think we'd rather have a cameraman than a GoPro.
Yeah, if we have that good of a cameraman, it's great, and especially it's important for him to hear us. So.
We'll wait for Tyler to get up here. Hopefully he knows his way up. Doesn't end up working on carts in the...
So Grant dropping down.
Yeah, Jensen.
Gavin. Jensen moving up from 7th?
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 spots, so... There's Tyler. We'll have him over here. Sorry to make you climb all the way up here.
Oh, no, you're good.
We'll get the technical stuff figured out. After all the trials and errors,
yeah,
you get a victory tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your race.
My main goal was not to false start this time. But yeah,
we did describe that a little bit from last week, yeah.
Yeah, I thought my pace was there, felt really good. I saw I built a little gap to start, and I kind of pulled back from using boost. So I used boost pretty late, which helped me a lot.
Did you change your boost strategy? We saw so many drivers tonight. Everybody's fastest lap of the race was under 25.4.
Dang.
And you, 25.964 versus a 9.98 with Jensen.
I was trying to get that last lap.
Yeah. So did you change your boost strategy at all?
Yeah, I did during qualifying too. I let the tires warm up before pressing any boost.
Okay.
And then I kind of go press it pretty often then. But yeah, during the race.
Are you going to reveal to your fellow drivers where you're pressing it?
Just down the main straight.
I
don't think you can gain much time pressing it through it anywhere else.
You think because the corner is just too short, it just pretty much throws it
I
out?
I don't feel comfortable braking really hard, so just preference.
Yeah, and your start was really clean, no problems.
Yep.
I bet you were thankful to just get away from the pack.
That was all I was trying to do.
You probably were looking behind you going, yeah, thanks for ever battling behind. And
yep, I used the first two boosts, first two laps, I think, and then I kind of pulled back from it. And then I'd look and see Gavin set purple, and then I used a boost next lap.
Yeah, you got to take that fastest lap back.
Yep.
Yeah, because this season it's worth 2 points instead of 1, so it's worth a lot more. So.
Yep, especially at the end, that was what I was really trying to get.
So that's going to put you at. I'll see if we can do some of this really fast, but I want to see where you compared. We're still going to say you at least got 27. We don't know who the biggest mover is. It might be Gavin. I'm sorry. It might be Jensen again.
Jensen moved a lot, yeah.
We'll have to run the math, but oh wait, final. Sorry, I'm taking up your interview time, but go ahead and fill the air if you'd like by telling your fans anything interesting about your race.
Nothing interesting really. I felt bad because I caught Anthony and Dom, and they were fighting. And I felt like I might have ruined that a little bit, but felt a little bad.
Well, we can sort that out a little bit later. Potentially, you are a point behind Jensen if we figure out where they land as far as the biggest mover. But yeah, that'll be awesome. So, yeah. Anything else worth noteworthy before we kick it out?
Not that I can think of.
Perfect. Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Good job redeeming yourself. And for everybody who decided to follow along, we certainly appreciate you guys. Make sure you are following Competition Karting. We're going to be a little bit longer with 5 weeks in between the competition this time around. But for everyone at the K1 Speed hardworking crew, we appreciate everybody who makes this race worth possible. Thanks, guys, for watching. Leave a comment or a like below. Biggest compliment you can give us is to watch this next video right here. That's probably going to pop up right here. So we'll see you guys next time.